Cheers, welcome to my channel. This is a timely tarot oracle reading about random shift. This is general or collective, so parts may or may not resonate with you. Take what works for you and leave the rest. This is also, if you're watching this at this time, it's the perfect time for you. Having said that, if it has been a while since I posted this, what was going on in your life back then? That could give you further clarity as to what's happening now. All right, we have the underlying energy is the Eight of Pentacles. The Eight of Pentacles is talking about being hard at work, making money, basically. The Pentacle energy talks about health, wealth, and happiness in the 3D. And this is also, money, of course, is a very big part of that. But having said that, you could have all the money in the world and still not be living the lifestyle that you want to live because you don't have love or health. And so this is but this particular card is the only one of the Pentacle cards that is talking about literally making money. This is the only card where someone's working on the coin itself. And this could mean that you are very focused on making money in your life right now. And you might be on the second one. You have a new project started and you have 6 to go, or you've already completed 6 and you are working on the 7th and you just have 1 more here to go. The other, from the oracle energy, the underlying energy is the devil. And so this is my oracle tales from the vector. And when the devil tempts us, the devil doesn't tempt us with ugly shift. What the devil tempts us with is something shiny and pretty. And so this is a very beautiful dragonfly. And she is representing the ability to adapt to life, life on the wing. Back when they were first engineering helicopters, they would use the way that the dragonflies could maneuver as their blueprint. And because dragonflies can fly straight up and down, they can really do complicated aerial maneuvers, and they also can hover for long periods of time. So this energy is talking about, being able to adapt to life, and the temptation, though, that is coming in. At first, yes, it's very beautiful, but then when payment comes, that's when it gets ugly. So the devil card is saying that there's some sort of temptation coming that's playing out here. I'm going to check and see. When the devil card comes up, it's very manipulative energy. You're not going to get the truth from the devil. So I always cover it with the next card up. I want to know who does the devil send in to do his dirty work? Because there's always a minion. He doesn't do his own dirty work. And if so, what can we find out more information so we know what to watch out for? Or does God cover it? And we have surrender. So I feel that this is saying that your ancestors who have crossed the veil may be trying to connect with you and say, be careful, watch out, be careful what moves you make. There's some energy here. And this can also be talking about surrendering to God's plan rather than the devil's. So I feel like this is a choice that people have to make regarding this energy here. We do have heartache and heartbreak, so there definitely is potential here from making the wrong decision and having a lot of heartache and heartbreak because of it. This is saying that this card is talking about the sword energy representing the element of air. And so this is about thoughts, and the swords are like your mental intelligence and discipline of your mind. And you notice when you first look, this is like, yo, this person is really going through it. But when you look again, you realize, oh, they might be able to recover because the heart is really big in context to the swords. So, we can see the heart is in the throat. So this could represent someone who's afraid to speak their truth. This also sometimes represents gossip and slander, harsh words being spoken. It can even represent perjury in court and lying in other ways. This energy quite often speaks of a heartbreaking decision that needs to be made. And when we have that third sword in the heart, it sometimes represents a third-party energy that divides a couple. So we'll keep going here and see if we can get more information from this. We do have the Ten of Pentacles. It's talking about a lot of money coming in. This is the most that you can have. It's not just about money, it's about your lifestyle. So having everything you want, but the money is the featured part. It's the golden buzzer energy, you know, where you're at one of those talent shows and all of a sudden someone hits the golden buzzer and you get to skip ahead a bunch of steps and you don't have to pay the price so much to get of admission. And then this card is representing also a windfall after some sort of hardship. So this can represent an energy of, it could be either way here, making choices regarding this and the devil rewards you, or making choices to stay on God's plan and God rewards you. So this is talking about having the ultimate lifestyle, and it is talking about a windfall after hardship. So we don't know which way it's going here. I guess it could be different for different people. There is a cup of love coming in. So the Knight of Cups is talking about moving, this is like the knight in shining armor that we hear about in the romance novels and in the movies. And he's offering this cup of love. And generally this is a solid offer coming in. Now, this could be talking about, this could be way back maybe that you had this hardship in your love life. And then you worked really hard for your, you know, your career and that type of energy. And now you're, you know, doing very well here. And a cup of love comes in, or it could be explaining what happened in the past. We don't know for sure yet, because this card here is representing the element of fire, and we're talking about the wands represent the element of fire. They are made of wood because wood fuels fire, so it's about taking passionate action. And this person is standing on the precipice of change. They are making a huge decision, entering a portal or exiting one, basically. And so it's really interesting how this reading's playing out, because I feel like it's talking about two different scenarios. Do you choice A or choice B? That type of energy. You know, he's standing here and there's the water is golden because the sun is shining on it, saying there could be a lot of happiness here. There's ships sailing by, and he's thinking, I want to go on an adventure and hop on one of those ships. Now you can see the distant shoreline has the water in between it. So this can be talking about wanting to move, literally relocate overseas, or collaborating with people overseas. So if this is about a business, like when the cup energy comes in, quite often it is romantic love, especially when it comes from the Knight of Cups, but it doesn't have to be. It can also be talking about anyone that you love or anything that you love as well. It can be talking about something you love to do or something you love to be. So this is saying about wanting, sometimes I feel like this is an entrepreneur that's very successful, and now they're entering a portal where they're moving forward with their business and maybe taking it overseas, going global, maybe starting a franchise, that type of energy. When it comes to matters of love, it could represent either entering a relationship and moving forward together as one, or it can represent leaving a couple and moving forward as a single person. It would depend on the situation here. We do have this third-party energy possibility here. Now, this could also represent family members, friends, whatever, moving on from friends, or finding new friends overseas, that type of energy. We don't know for sure. It'll depend on your decision. That's what I'm getting. Decide wisely. We have being left out in the cold. And so this energy is definitely talking like there's only 5 pentacles here. It's interesting. It's like a half and half, you know. Are you going to go this way or are you going to go that way? So are you going to go with the devil's offer, which I eventually will leave you out in the cold. Eventually, the devil, you have to pay up. And that's just the way it is. God's offer might take longer to get there, but it's a solid offer. Like when you follow God's plan, then when you do achieve this, it's a gift that is everlasting. Whereas this energy can be talking about choosing to be left out in the cold, not following God's plan. It's cold in here. There must be something in the atmosphere. That's also a warning from your relatives that have crossed the veil. Be very careful. There's some very cold energy that could leave you out in the cold. This is talking about, wow, and is it this lover being sent in by the devil himself to have you move forward with the devil? Or is this God sending someone in to see? I feel this is talking about the devil energy. So if you choose to go, there's the devil could be sending a lover in, and God could be sending a lover in. What a weird reading. This is random. So this is saying, like, yeah, you have to figure this out. You're going to have to really be careful here. So this card is basically saying that there's two people here and there's only 5 pentacles between them. So they're homeless. There's they don't have enough to sustain a household. It's a far cry from this energy here. This person is on crutches and they're wearing this plague bell. In the old days, they didn't have apps to isolate people from society when there was like pandemics and plagues. So they would force them to wear this big bell. And then when they came into town, everybody could hear them coming and, get the heck out of their way, which made it, as you can imagine, difficult to find work or earn a living. And like this person doesn't even have shoes and they're in the snow here. This card quite often does represent tactics that are being used on someone. The snowflakes represent those tactics. Every snowflake is beautiful within itself, but when a bunch of snowflakes get together, it can really cause a lot of problems. It gets very heavy. You have to shovel it. It's a lot of work, a lot of extra work, and it's cold and miserable. They are passing a church, so this is saying, like, the 5 here is representing an ability to, all you have to do is make the right choice and you won't be left out in the cold. I feel like this is definitely saying you have to choose very wisely here, but there's tactics being used to draw you into making the wrong decision and going with the temptation. And then we have the rebel with a cause coming in. So some information, communication coming in, all fired up. This is talking about the Knight of Wands is works for the King and Queen of Wands. There's a lot of the element of fire here, passionate action. You can see this big red plume on the back of his head, and this is on his helmet. And this is talking about him having like a tendency to be a little hot-headed sometimes and maybe impulsive, but he has learned to rein that in because he's learned the hard way probably that, being overly aggressive and hard-headed is going to not get him where he wants to go. Horses in tarot represent your heartfelt energy and passion. And this horse is rearing up. It really wants to go, but he's controlling that energy. So there's some significant information coming in. This is the pyramids in the background here are talking about being knowledgeable about something and providing some very important information. This is also a very adventurous energy, wanting to move forward. And it's sitting right on this promise of love and money, basically, love and lifestyle. So there's some sort of communication or information coming in regarding that. And this is victory. Look at that. It's saying if you rein in your emotions here, you notice like her horse also is reined in. Her horse is very calm. She is very proudly sitting on this horse. This is talking about victory. And, we have the laurel wreath here on the wand representing that. There's 5 people here in the background, and some of them look a little bit disgruntled because she has won, but they have to admit she clearly was the leader here. When I think about this, I think about, let's say there's a promotion at work, and, 6 of you apply for that promotion. You clearly come out the leader. And the reason you do is because, like the Knight of Wands, you are able to rein in your emotions and give a really good interview and prove yourself as a leader. And these people in the background, they could be a little bit disgruntled, but they have to admit that you really did a really good job, and you probably are the one that deserves this position more than any of them. And so it's talking about reining in that emotion is what gets you the position. And I feel this is talking about doing it God's way, and this is about talking about doing it the devil's way. Then we have, yes, look at this, the loss of pentacle energy. Really interesting here, because this card is coming up. This person is standing here and he's looking at, he has invested 6 pentacles of his time, money, and energy into an investment, and it's only bringing in 1 coin here. And he's like, whoa, that sucks. Like, he's used to being very successful. And he's saying, like, why is that? Like, generally, I'm so much more successful in this. Like, do I need to do something differently? Like, what am I doing wrong? Or it can sometimes represent, on a more spiritual level, having only put 1 pentacle of energy into something and getting the reward of 6 pentacles of investment. So I would say that this is saying that God's way is the longer way, but you're going to come out victorious. It's long-lasting windfall, where this person is looking at, okay, I only put the 1 pentacle of energy into it, and I have this. And he thought he was going to be all excited. Yay, everything's great. But his lifestyle sucks because, yeah, he's like looking like, I should be really happy here. Like, this was like so easy. And he went with this devil solution instead. And so now this is the energy he's feeling, this isolation of being out in the cold. So this is talking about, reining it in or not reining it in. You're making that decision. Which way are you going to go? And look at this. The Queen of Swords is sitting on this energy. Now, normally this would represent someone, the Queen is someone of Swords, is one of 4 queens in the Minor Arcana. And she's considered to be the coldest of them all. She has her left hand out, though, saying that she's wanting to receive, but maybe she's saying to the devil, I want to receive from you. And that's why she's sitting on this energy here. And maybe she didn't rein it in and made a rash decision. And perhaps the lover that came in was to convince her to go in this direction. Really interesting energy. Now, she's cold because she's been there, done that, has the t-shirt, and she's tired of doing things the hard way, basically. She has her head above the clouds. She's aware of the decision that she's making, and she does have the sword in her right hand, and she's saying, off with your head if this doesn't work out for me. So I do feel this is again talking about the choice. Are you going to be clear-headed, make the correct choice here, and put the work in, even if it takes longer? Or are you going to go with the devil and say, okay, I'm going to go the fast way here, and I'm going to, have quick success here, and put very little energy into it, but get the reward anyway? Really, I've never seen a reading like this. This is really cool. So basically, it's talking about making this choice. Which way are you going to go? And we also see here that the little bird in the background there is representing the energy of the Queen of Swords. Now, normally, that is kind of like something you would read, like this could definitely be the King and Queen of Swords. Quite often are most likely to be divorced or separated. So it can be talking about moving forward as an individual, but in this energy, it could be talking about moving forward and away from God, like away from God's plan. Really, really wild energy. And then we have, look at this, we have standing at the turret of your castle as a big fish in a little pond energy. So this is saying that you're standing at the turret of your castle and you are making that decision. Which way am I going to go? And you have the world in your hands, but you're feeling like a big fish in a little pond. So I feel like this is talking about, now normally like this would be like franchise energy. Maybe you're very, very similar to this energy here. But this can also be talking about the 111 portal, which is when your intuition is yelling at you. Like at first, like it's saying, hey, pay attention here. And this is the energy that you're in here. Make the right decision, because what it's saying is, the best way is to explain the 111 portal is it's an energy, that a synchronicity that the universe sometimes communicates to with us. And it's a synchronicity that happens. You're sitting at your computer and all of a sudden you glance at the clock and it's 11:11 and you're like, oh, I have to check. I have an appointment at 1:30. I need to check how long is it going to take me to get there, and what is the correct address. When you look it up on Google the address is 111 11th Avenue, and it takes 11 minutes to get there by car. So you're like, oh, cool. And as you're leaving the house, you glance at the clock again and it's 1:11. And you're like, whoa, that's weird. And on the way there, all of a sudden there's a short detour and you're like, oh no, I hope I'm not going to be late. And then they leave and I have to rebook this appointment. But the vehicle in front of you starts moving right away and it has the license plate 111 on it. Now, the 111 is like, once you enter this portal of this energy, what happens is you start to notice 111 on license plate, addresses, the clock, whatever. And it's like, if you check your thoughts, you'll notice that you're having a negative thought. And the universe is saying, be very careful. You're manifesting at a very high level. You have so much potential right now. Make sure you make strong choices. Be careful what you're thinking about. And you will find that when the 111 moments happen, that you have probably a negative thought, and it's the universe saying, change your thought. You're manifesting at a high level. Focus on where you want to go, not on the problems in getting there. And I feel like this is definitely saying that this warning is here, that this is a life-changing decision that you're making. Are you going to go for the fast money and, end up here eventually, because the devil always wants payment? Or are you going to take a little bit longer getting there and enjoy this lifestyle, and in an extended way, because you put your own energy into it to get it? Really, really cool. So a heartbreaking decision is being made. This is about being a winner in life, basically, being a leader, being a leader and showing others how to lead. This is talking about, which decision are you going to make? Are you going to go the easy route with the devil, or are you going to like the fast route, or are you going to do it in God's way, on God's plan? And this is you making that decision. Which world am I going to live in? And then we have, making which decision are you going to make? And then, because if you go with the devil, eventually payment is going to be required. This is when the ugly comes in. And this is being like, okay, pay up. And then this energy is talking again about being on that threshold of which decision are you going to make? Are you going to go with the passionate love that comes in, that's from God? Or are you going to go with the passionate lover that comes in, that comes from the devil? This is really a different reading. All right, I'm going to clarify for those of you who want further clarification. I think it's pretty clear, but if you're leaving the reading here and you think it's really clear as well, you don't need further confirmation on this one. Thank you for your time and energy, your likes, comments, shares, subscribes. I really do appreciate them all. They're helping me build my channel. I'm going to clarify for those of us that want to see more. All right, the numbers on these cards represent the paintings as they're listed in my gallery on my website, talesfromthevector.com. I'm in the process of writing the information up for this, so you can check it out if you want to check it out there. Okay, so we have number 39, Aquarius energy. And I want to point out that when I have cards that come in from my horoscopes, I'm not talking about an individual person. An Aquarius did it. I'm talking about the quality of the sign. If you ever get your birth chart done, you'll notice you have all of the signs in you. And I like to use the information to learn from it. Like what Aquarius energy is about intellect and making, educated, observe results and experiment. And so it is ruled by Uranus. And this card is coming up in a lot of the readings, and it's sitting on this potentially heartbreaking decision that needs to be made. The Uranus energy, Uranus is a huge planet, and it moved in from, it rules over Aquarius, but it moved into the sign of Gemini about 2 months ago. It has not been in Gemini since 1941 to 1949. When World War II was happening, and people were making some pretty big decisions back then as well. And so this is talking about the truth coming out. Uranus in Gemini wants the truth to come out. And because Gemini is such quick-witted, they're probably the most adaptable of all the signs. That energy within us is going to empower us to make strong choices. And the important thing to understand is the truth will come out, and you'll be seeing this all over the news, etc. The thing is about Uranus, it takes 7.5 to 8 years to move into the next sign. So it's going to be sitting in Gemini until 2033. And the truth is coming out. We're seeing it in the news, like in weird ways, and weird truths in weird ways. It seems like every day there's something else that happens, and it's like, what? They got caught like that? And it's something that happened like 3 decades ago or something. So it is definitely talking about making these choices. And then we have the superstar. Understanding, this is talking about being, if you didn't know it, you have the potential to be a star. And so this is talking about having harmony in your words. How do we express our thoughts? We express our thoughts through words. And that could be written, like signing contracts, or it could also, or agreements, or this could also be the words that you use and that you speak. The Wheel of Fortune is turning in your favor. So this is saying you can have a very harmonious life with someone that you really love. If you already do have love in your life, it can be talking about a renewal of passion coming into your love life and really enjoying life, and having a windfall come in after a hardship. So this is like an unexpected, like it could be an investment that pays way more, or it could be the energy of an inheritance coming through. It could be trust, something that you weren't expecting, and after hardship, it comes into your life. The Wheel of Fortune is turning in your favor because you're staying on God's path. The Wheel of Fortune is actually talking about being on God's path. So it's if you make this decision, this is like a decision that is going to be longer lasting energy, a windfall coming towards you. This is degradation on here. This is talking about being really careful with this energy, because whatever decision you make at this time, when you're standing here, deciding which way am I going to go, can either uplift your energy or degrade it. And then we have the Capricorn energy. Wow. Capricorn energy is the most ambitious of all the signs. And when Capricorn energy is responsible, it's talking about, the glyph is a sea goat. At the front end, it's a mountain goat, and it's climbing the mountain. But on the back end, it's got a dolphin tail. And so you can imagine climbing a mountain with a dolphin tail. So it sometimes slips back down the mountain. But the Capricorn energy is the most mature of the pentacle signs and takes consistent steps of action towards the goal. So it's talking about the ability that you have to be able to accomplish this by taking consistent steps of action in doing it in God's way. Or it's really interesting because Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, and Saturn also rules the devil energy. Again, it's talking which choice are you going to make? And a tower hits. So sometimes on my oracle, this says divorce, but this card is saying the worst divorce is from source. Wow, it's really saying be careful which choice you make. This would be, this windfall, if you choose the devil's way, is going to be temporary. If you do it God's way, it's going to take longer, whichever way you choose. A tower is when reality, it's a reality check. You made a decision, you took some actions, and boom, all of a sudden the tower hits. It's very uncomfortable, and it means that things need to be rebuilt. So it's talking about, you know, which way are you going to go again? And then we have the High Priestess sitting at the top. And the High Priestess is joyful because she uses her intuition wisely to sort through the information. And the High Priestess, she is actually in the tarot sitting between two pillars. One represents Jesus and the other one represents the devil. And then she's got all this information in between, and she has to make a choice and decide which way, which would be the best decision to make. Wow, I think this is pretty clear, this reading. I've never had a reading like this before. I really, it's funny, like how it's really explaining what happens. All right, I do hope you've enjoyed it as well. Thank you once again for your time and your energy, likes, comments, shares, subscribes, and helping me build my channel. I really do appreciate it. Bye for now.